Recording in progress.
Okay. So good evening, all. My name is Tayo Olatimilei, um, and I am the coach today. And what we're looking at is living life on your own terms, budgeting with purpose. And for those who probably are joining for the very first time, here it's a very open place where you can ask any question. Uh, there is no foolish question because we are all here to learn. I will try as much as possible to pour out a little thing that I know about this subject. I vary the training every month, is one training per month, and I vary the content of the training as much as possible on a monthly basis. And this is the first one for the year. And so you're all welcome. It's good to have you that you're spending your evening with me tonight to learn a few things. So feel free to put question in the chat. And if you want to use your audio, I can promote you to be a panelist, and then you'll be able to use your audio to ask questions. But if you don't want that, that's also okay. I will just type in your question in the chat at any point as we go on in the training, and then I will try as much as possible to respond to every question that relates to this training. We'll say an intentional way to make sure you always have money for what matters to you. And that's exactly what we look at. But before we go on, I'm going to just flash the disclaimer that because we've been mentioning things that has to do with money today, we are required to let us be aware of this disclaimer that this is just for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. And before making any financial decision, kindly consult your licensed financial advisor to advise you on whatever you need to do next. Okay, and about the company, so this company is brought to you by this training is brought to you by KWC Global Institute, and we are into coaching people on leadership empowerment to achieve profitability in every area of our life. Profitability in business, in career, in finance, in relationship, and even spiritually. And our website is there. That is where you registered from. And please follow us on social media at IBWFG. Is the social media on all, as our handle on all social media. And these are the trainings we normally offer. We talk about empowering people financially for the future. We talk about personal finance and investing. We talk about today's topic, which is giving purpose to your money. And then we have a master class, and then we have career development training, which we normally deliver during conferences. Okay, moving on quickly because of our time. What is the goal? The goal of this training is not just this one, the other ones we hold is to help hardworking individuals and families to achieve true financial independence so they can pave way for a prosperous future for the coming generations. So we believe that everyone who's got an income one way or the other is able to build wealth, not just for themselves, but to be able to lay a foundation for those who are coming behind them, so that they don't struggle. They don't struggle the way we have struggled. And another goal is that we want to create generations of millionaires from hardworking, everyday people. I normally joke that, I'm here in my house. I'm not sitting on a yacht somewhere in the Bahamas, or I'm not in Cayman Island. I'm just that next door neighbor to you. Okay. I don't drive a Ferrari. Okay. Maybe not just yet, but by the grace of God, I've been able to do a few things consistently that are giving me results, and those are the things that I'm trying to share with us. So you can relate with me. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm a working class person just like yourself, even though I have businesses, but I'm still a working class person just like yourself. So we face the same struggles. We contribute into pensions. We have expenses to pay. So you can relate. Your story can relate. Our story can relate, and you can have you'll be to be comfortable to ask me any question. And what's our motivation? My motivation is that I started investing with as little as £25 a few years ago. And before now, I thought you need a lot of money. But I think the investment climate has been democratized that anybody with £1 can now start to build wealth with £1. And when I realized this, I said, well, I'm going to share this story with as many people as possible. And then I really wish I've started this very long time ago. And I don't want to wait when I'm 70 before I start sharing my story. I think the earlier to share, I started sharing it, the better for people to be able to benefit from it. And about myself, I think I've said a little about myself. I'm a transformation and change consultant, and that's what I do as my day job. And I have over 20 years of experience. I bulk of it which I have in the UK, over 16 years experience in the UK. And I have an MSc in business strategy, leadership, and change, and a certificate in digital transformation from Staffordshire University. I co-founded a few companies, and one of them is AdGidi, and I coach and speak at conferences. Then I'm also a minister in RCCG, and I see myself as a serial investor. At the end of the day, I am an investor, and what I'm trying to do is to help us in every area of our personal finances. Everything I'm trying to do is to help us to build our foundation upon which we can be successful financially. And I'm not a novice to investing. I'm not a novice to money matters. I started trading, which was what I used to do from 2006, which I did it is 2012 before I stopped. And I don't do that anymore because the difference between trading and investing, trading and investing are not the same thing. So I'm not here to teach you about trading. Don't be scared. The topic for today is totally different, and I don't teach people on trading. I teach on investing, personal finance management. So I'm going to play a video right now, and this video it's just like an icebreaker, and to get us thinking to say, where am I in this pyramid? So I'm going to play a video. I think a 1 minute or 2 minute video thereabout, and then I want us to reflect after listening to that video. Okay, let's play. So the next voice you hear is going to be my voice.
I want to quickly share with you a concept I learned during the week called Pyramid of Wealth by Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. The base of this pyramid are those who are in financial crisis. This level represents those who are without any source of income. They depend on handouts and generosity of others to survive. And next to these are those who are financially unstable, who have a source of income, but their take home is not anywhere close to what they need to meet basic needs of life. They live perpetually on personal loans and credit cards in order to augment their income. And next to them in the middle are those who are financially stable. These are the middle to lower upper class people. They have good jobs, they earn decent income, they drive good cars, they probably have a house on a mortgage, they can afford to go on holidays, etc. These are the most deceived set of people in this triangle, because if they're out of job, they become financially unstable within 90 days. They have little or no savings, no income generating assets. They are actually 60 to 90 days from becoming homeless, because the banks will come after them in no time. A lot of the so-called big boys and big girls are in this category. And number 4 in the triangle is financial independence. People at this level have enough assets to take care of their needs. They earn passive income from businesses and investment that is equal to or more than what they get from their day job, if they still have a day job. They can choose not to work anymore. They have time freedom. And at the peak of this pyramid is financial freedom. At this level, you can take care of your needs and wants, and even take care of thousands of people. You can make impact at a larger scale. You can give away millions and billions without stress. Which level are you? In order to move from one level to another, a new body of knowledge, a shift in mindset, and association is required. I want to quickly share.
Okay, I'm going to pause you there. Okay, so I don't know if you pick out anything. Anybody can put in the chat if there's anything that kind of struck you in that video. That video was talking about different levels of financial status for people. And then I don't know if there's anything at all that jumped out to you from that particular video. Anyone, you can put in the chat. If you want to unmute your mic to speak, and that's fine. Anyone? So I'll wait for you to type. While you're typing, I would speak. So you have people who are on financial crisis. These are people who probably don't have any source of income. But I think the funny thing is, we have people who are financially stable. They just have barely enough for them to get by. And then we now have people who are financially or stable, people who are financially stable who are in the middle of the pyramid. And I think this is where we have the middle class people. This is where we have a lot of people who are working class. And the thing there is, I think this is where a lot of people in the Western world belongs to. They are not poor, they are not super rich, they are not poor, they just have enough to be able to get back month after month. And I think that this is the class of people that a lot of after 3 months of being out of work, a lot of people within this category are not able to take care of themselves anymore. And so it just means that a lot of people are working on a very tightrope. And that shouldn't be the case. And that is one of the reasons why we're having this training today, which is giving purpose for every dime you earn. It is the foundation for building wealth. So I said today's topic is a key to living intentionally. So if you understand the topic I'm going to teach us today, you'll be able to live intentionally, not based on impulses. It is also the foundation to build wealth, because if you're trying to build and you don't understand this particular topic for today, just a matter of time. You probably will make one or two mistakes that will not prevent you to be able to continue. The understanding of this and implementation of this will give you greater control over your money. And so what is it? So I have a model that I've developed. So this model is something I've developed, and it's a summary of the trainings that I do. So it's called the 7 pillars of building wealth. So the first thing in that pillar is financial education. Then you have secure an income. And then under that secure an income, increase your capacity to earn more. And then financial control, building wealth, wealth preservation, succession planning, and charitable giving. And so, on the foundation of that is spiritual mindset and body care, you taking care of your body. And so, this is things I look at holistically when I talk about building wealth. And it's if I want to make it simpler, I would say it's making money, increasing your capacity to make more money, controlling money, multiplying money, preserving money, transferring money, and then giving out money. So that is a summary of the training that I give. So for today, we're looking at financial control. Just looking at one thing out of all of these things. And that's what we're going to look at today. So another thing I'm going to ask us is extreme frugality the path to wealth? And to be frugal means you're sparing, you are thrifty, you're prudent, you're economical in the consumption of resources such as money. In most cases, maybe probably looking a little bit wretched and looking as if you've had a train crash, or as if something bad has happened. Is that the way to really live for us to be able to build wealth? If anybody wants to put anything in the chat, feel free to put it. I want us to participate in this class as much as possible. Okay, there are quite a number of us here. Okay, so is it frugality? Is it just looking as if something has happened to you? Okay, that's what people think about when you talk about controlling financial control. You think, oh, come on, it's going to be slavery. It's going to be don't do this, don't do that. You can't do that. No, that's too expensive. No, that's not for you. All you just need to do all your life is keep your money under the pillow and watch it grow, or put your money in the bank and just watch it grow, and then you suffer through life. But what I'm going to show us today is the opposite of that. What I'm going to show us today is that you need to live life on your own terms. You need to live life in a way that you actually want to live it, and at the same time building wealth. So the introduction. So unconsciously, a lot of us, generally in the society, a lot of us we live our life based unconsciously on what we've been programmed to do. You might not know it, and this is not a conspiracy theory. I don't put together conspiracy theories, but we live in the based on the impulse of the economy. Interest rate is high, inflation is high, or this is happening. There's financial, crisis, or we live based on what we see on the TV. There's a new product out there. or this is what my neighbor is doing, or this is what, a lot of people consciously or unconsciously live based on those programming. And the outcome of it is that they live below the kind of quality of life they really desire to live. And so there's a need. Some of those mindset is that you need credit card to strive. Without credit card, you cannot survive. Some of those mindset that we've come to accept as the norm is the fact that student loan for children is a must. There's just no way you can do it without having your children or yourself having to go borrow to go to school. One of it is that you must always have a car finance to pay. Okay. Personal loan is just the easy way out. It's just the norm. Credit card is the norm, either to go on holiday or when you spend a lot of credit card, you accumulate air points, air miles that could help you go on a free holiday. And then, these are some of the things that we, or buy now and pay later, which I think, or I want to live in the now. It's another thing. It's another self-love. I just want to live in the now. Tomorrow is going to take care of itself. And no wonder that the Americans owe almost $1 trillion in credit card debt, trillions also in other forms of loan. So at the end of the day, if you look at this mindset, who is popularizing these mindsets? Is the bank, is the government, is the people who sell stuff, is the people, the most advertised product is credit card. Those people who sell those things. And I said at the bottom, who is smiling to the bank? Is it you or the bankers? Okay, who have bigger buildings and better furniture than we do? Who is really smiling to the bank? It is those who are programmed us to do what they want us to do. And the truth is that every economy needs the middle class to run. The British economy is running today because we have a very big base middle class. The economies of Africa is not running because there are no middle class. It's that you are very rich or you are very poor. You don't have people within the middle class. The middle class people are those who want and say, what does it mean? What is today's topic? What does it mean to live life on your own terms? If you look at what societal programming is all about, this is about taking responsibility. And you will love some of the things I put on this page. Is you taking responsibility for your actions and desires and making choices that align with your value. Is self-leadership. Okay, is you living your life with compassion and empathy, but without feeling guilty of your choices. Is you focusing on what fills you up and what you care about. It's just you prioritizing you. And that is what I really want to talk about. And being true to yourself. And then you are open to new beginnings, walking the path that feels right. And I put in there in bold that make your choices and value in line with the Bible, because I'm a Christian. I have to point that out, especially in the choices we make when it comes to money and to our time. And that is what it is to you making choices that align with your values and living the life unapologetically. So what does it mean to give purpose? Purpose is intention. The relevance of something, the usefulness of something is that thing's purpose. So to have intention or usefulness for every pound or every dollar that flows through your hand before you even earn it. So you have a purpose, you have an intention, you have a usefulness for every dime that passes through your hand. Another name I call it is you tag and send your money, or you send your money on a mission. Okay, and that's what we look at. I'm going to go through the reason why you should do that. And very quickly, I'll take us through the process of doing that in a very efficient and easy way that will help us, and that will take us to the next level of what we'll be looking at today. So, number one reason why you should give purpose or usefulness to your money, even before you earn it, number one is that the purpose gives direction. So, purpose will give you a target of what exactly do I want to do. Before this money gets into my hand, what should I do with it? What am I going to do with it? With that, you have a predetermined direction in which you want to travel. You didn't just jump into your car and there's no sat nav taking you to where you are going. Just say, okay, anywhere I want to go, I'm going to go. So, but when you do that, you have a direction and then you are intentional about where exactly you want to go financial wise. And the next reason why you should give purpose to your money is that purpose gives you control. So your money is not controlling you. Advert is not controlling you. your friends, family aren't controlling you. Your impulses are not controlling you. Financial institutions are not controlling you. Emergencies are not controlling you. So you already have control exactly on what you want to do when it comes to your money. And the other thing is that when you give purpose to your money, it prevents frivolity and overspending. So I said, and this is a very popular quote. If you've been to my training before, that I normally quote, it said, what each of us calls necessary expenses will always grow to equal our income unless we protest to the contrary. Okay, this is a quote from The Richest Man in Babylon. If you not read that book, please go and get it. It's a very small book, but it's it's a fictional story about the richest man in Babylon, and all that happened to him. And then when he was telling that story, and the grandson, I think, was telling the story. If you can get that book, read it. It's a very nice story to read, but it will teach you a lot of things, a lot of basics about finances. And so what this quote is saying is that what each of us say it's our necessary expenses, we always grow to be equal to our income. What does that mean? It means when you are earning 2,000, your necessary expenses was 2,000 plus actually. When you are earning 3,000, your necessary expenses become 3,000. When you start earning 5,000, your necessary expenses suddenly became 5,000. You start wondering, and I listened to a video not too long ago, and a family said they spent 30,000 on a monthly basis. Their necessary expenses became 30,000, and they didn't even know what to cut, because suddenly it's now a must for us to spend 30,000 on a monthly basis. Okay, so it's called lifestyle creep. You don't know when your lifestyle creeps up based on how much you earn. You suddenly have a bigger house to pay for, suddenly have a bigger car to pay for, or you suddenly have 2 or 3 cars in the garage, or you suddenly have a bigger holiday to do, and probably outside of how much you earn. And so that is what is called lifestyle creep. So if you don't give purpose, there's need for frivolity and overspending and lifestyle creep. Another reason why you should give purpose to your money is the fact that others and circumstances will dictate to you what to use your money for. So other people's demand, maybe family, friends, things around you, or like I said, advertisement in society will help you give purpose to your money. So it's better you do it before someone else, do it for you. So it's better you do it first so that others and circumstances don't dictate to you what you use your money for. Another thing that is the advantage of giving purpose to your money is it is the foundation for financial prosperity. It's not about how much you earn, it's about what purpose you give to the money that passes through your hand. It is the foundation for your prosperity. This topic is the foundation. I won't teach anything else, but I just have to make this the first topic I'm going to teach this year so that I can give us foundation to making money. Even though I'm about teaching people on how to become millionaires, on how to make money, even out of the little that they have. But this is a fundamental principle to starting that. So again, it improves your quality of life. Contrary to you being thrifty, contrary to you being being frugal to the extreme, it improves your quality of life if you understand and implement what I'm going to talk about today. So you are able to save time and execute well thought plans and do the things that you really love to do. You really get to have a lot of fun because you plan your fun even before the time that you want to have it. And then generally you're able to build wealth. You're able to build wealth. I'll come back to numbers later. I'm not talking about numbers now. I'll come back to numbers. You're able to build a why. Your wages is your greatest wealth building tool. And so let's move on to the next thing. So this is how to give purpose to your money. So I've come up with this flow, and this flow I will explain them one after the other and show you exactly how to implement it for yourself if you are single or for your family if you are married. I will explain it. So the first thing here is financial vision, going to making a list, going to match your current spending to your list, and that list is your financial vision, and then move on to tagging your list, reallocating your resources, and automating the process. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to go through this, explaining this. What does this mean? How do you achieve this? Then we'll move on from there. Okay, step number 1. have a vision for your financial life. So the things tomorrow is a cumulative of things we do today. There's no place called tomorrow. Today is yesterday's tomorrow. And when you say, I'm going to do something tomorrow, tomorrow is not a date, because tomorrow keeps shifting. When you get to tomorrow, tomorrow's has another tomorrow, which is the day after. And so whatever tomorrow is going to be will be a cumulative of things that we've planned and we've done right now. So the future is not a destination. Tomorrow or the future is a cumulative of what we do today. And we're talking about having a financial vision. In this class, forget about how things are at the moment. Now think about how you actually want things to be. So this is how things are. I've got this payment to pay. Money before the end of the month, my paycheck has finished. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm probably already on overdraft. That could be the current reality. I can't even go on an holiday. Or when I go on holiday, credit card is what pays for it. I keep shifting balance from one credit card to another. That could be the current reality. But forget about that current reality. How do you really want things to be? For yourself, how do you really want things to be? Okay. How do you want things to be for your children now and later in the future? Another aspect of your life. And that is what you need to first of all set that goal. Okay, maybe your goal is to say, okay, I want to pay my mortgage off, or your goal is that I want to go on 2 holidays in a year. That is your goal. I want to have fun. I want to go out for lunch with my spouse once or twice in a month, or every Sunday evening, like it's common. That's what is common here. Among the Caucasians, they go out a Sunday evening. So that they have roast in a dinner at home, or they go out in the evening. Whatever it is that you want that vision to be, fun and every other thing, the future, the present, everything, first of all, you need to make a list of what you want. Agree with your spouse or agree with yourself, whatever you want to do. Once you made a list, and I know part of that list is your current living. First of all, for instance, for me I need to keep my electricity on. For instance, I'm talking to us via the internet. I need to keep my internet running. Those are short-term, immediate things that we need to take care of. I need to pay my council tax. Those are normal things that you need to take care of. Then above that, you have the medium goals. You have the larger long-term goals that you also need to take care of. And so let's go into step number 2. After making that list of things that you need to do, that you need to spend money on, especially that requires you to spend money and time on. After making a long list of them, so what you're going to do, so after having that vision, after making that vision, you now make a list of them. So of what you really want and what you want to achieve. So you now turn that vision into a list. What requires money here? So if I'm going to have dinner with my spouse twice a month, how much will that cost me? So you know that you need to go for dinner. If you want to go for holidays once or twice in a year, it means that there's holiday as part of your list, among other things. Okay, I want my children to go to university or to go to college, without having to go take a 70,000, 80,000 loan for 3-year course. You want to be that one. We want to be part of your vision, or I want a gym membership, or I want just to go out for fun, maybe a sip and paint kind of fun. So you want to write everything down that requires money, including, the current things that you need to live your life. After making that list, the next step you're going to do, and I have an example I'm going to show us even as we go. So, but let me quickly go through the explanation, and I'm going to show us an example of this. Let me just open the spreadsheet that we're going to use to do this. So I'm going to drag that out of the screen for now, and I will take us through what I do personally. Okay, step number 3, after making that list, is that you now go to your bank and download your statement for last year or for the last 6 months. Preferably, if you can download your statement for last year, you download it. Then you now look at the things that the way you have been living based on, what things used to be up to today. download it and look at where your money went in 2024. Okay, look at where each of your payments went into. Make a list of them. Okay, you don't need to repeat them. Electricity is just one of them. Or maybe there's a car repayment is just one. Maybe you did it 12 times in the year, but you just write it as one. So make a list of the things you current spend money on and write how much you spend on a monthly basis against each of the list. So that is how you used to live. So based on actual, add numbers using your bank statement. Okay, some might have zeros for whatever reason, and add those that are not part of your vision. So what am I trying to say here is that, so when you make that list from what you used to spend money on, when you compare with your current list, which is your vision, there could be some things in your vision that you've not been spending money with. Whereas there are some things that are not in your vision where, and it's not the way you want to live, but you've been spending money on such things. So by the time you combine the list together, you can see the ones that you are spending money on and the one you've not been spending money on at all. So after doing that, the next thing you're going to do is to tag your list. Okay, before you add, before you give a figure to them, I want to tag your list. How do you tag your list? You tag your list based on the priority. Okay, and how do you do that priority is that what are the must have, the things that you don't have a choice that you must pay for. Like I said, I have to pay for my electricity so that I can live in a civilized world. So I need internet, I need my council tax, I need a lot of other things. It could be childcare, it could be transport to work. These are things that we must do in order to be able to live a normal life. You have those things are things that you must do. We have to eat, okay? And then after that, you tag some of your list that way. That could be the majority of your list, but you now have to do something. I call another tag the good memory. The things that will give you good fun and good memory right now with your children or with your spouse or with yourself. You need also to have them, tag them on your list. So it's going to be in this order. So this is the most important because you need that to stay afloat. The next one is your good memory, the things you want to remember, those things that you can frame and hang, and those things when you sit down and talk about, you refer to, the things you've done together. And then you now look at, tag some of them good future. This one is meant for my future, for me to have a wonderful and fulfilling future. And then you have some that you could have, if money is left, if I still have money left, I could have this one. And some things that you said, I will never have this again. So I think at this point, let me bring up that list that I've made that I normally use. Okay, I'm going to make this. Let me zoom on this a little bit so that we can, in case you're on your phone, and then you can full screen mode. Okay, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so that should be legible now. So so this is a list. So if you look at the list, you can see the tag on it, and then I have those tags written here that I can just pick any one of them. So we have the must have. This must have are things that we must spend money on. For instance, your TV license, or your giving, your charitable donations, your utility, electricity, your council tax. These are things that we know are familiar. If you have car one, car two, car three, whatever you have, feeding, then you have your transport to work. If you have a car, this might be something that you don't need, but you don't have a car, it could be that you need to have road tax and other things, servicing your car, fueling your car, and the rest of them. Then you now have some that you don't want, that you want never again. You tag them as never again. And then there's some that a lot of people don't have in their, when they do things like this, a lot of people do not have these aspects that are painted in amber. A lot of people do not have this aspect when they make this kind of list. So in your vision, whatever that vision, if your vision is to travel the world, it means you will have something that has to do with that future that you are looking at. It means if yours is to have some holiday or to go out to watch a cinema, whatever it is, it means, or a dinner date with your spouse, it means this must be part of your list. Another things that you need to do, if yours is, you want to have a PhD, it's going to be personal development. You need something for that. Okay, whatever it is, the way you exactly want to live your life, then you tag them which category they belong to. So by tagging them this way, you have a better understanding and priority of of where they are in your vision. And so now this current amount is what you spent on it in 2024, and this is your purpose amount. So for instance, maybe last year I was paying £100 on my credit card on a monthly basis. It could be that I still have some to pay this year. It could just be that I'm going to tell myself that never again this year my budget for credit card is zero. So it means that's what will reflect. Also, it could be that for instance, children's savings was zero last year. It now be that in your purpose plan is going to be £50 per child this year. So you can now see the difference of last year, of how you've been living and how you want to live. It could be that dinner date was zero last year, but this year you want dinner date on a monthly basis to be £100. That is what you want to budget based on the vision that you have. It could be that last year there's Amazon subscription, Prime TV, Netflix, Apple, Disney. Okay, it could be that you already have everything. You can say, okay, this year, well, this was £80 last year, but it's going to be zero this year and going forward because it does not fall into my vision. Okay, I'm going to have Apple TV. I'm going to have Disney because I have children at home. It could be whatever you want to do. And so you tag based on the amount you spent last year and now based on how much you want to spend going forward based on living life on your own terms, you're now fixing the figure this way. Okay, and down here is going to be your projected income. Okay, there's another page for that where you put in your income, maybe the husband and wife salary is here. If you have any dividend from any investment or you have stock you sold or whatever it is, these are income coming in for you on a monthly basis, and that will form what your income here is going to be minus the total expenses you have here. You're going to have a difference there. These are just hypothetical numbers. Okay. So I can share this if we want that. So let me exit this screen for now, and then I'll move on to explaining that. So we can have a picture of what I'm talking about. And so when you tag your list, having what you must spend money on, you can't run away from food, shelter, transport to work, clothing on your back, childcare, electricity, some of those you can't run away from. But very important is that you want they must be in our plan. Especially those of us who are of African descent, we don't have these two things in our plan. There's a need for you to prioritize them above, every other thing that will come along the way. And now what do? You reallocate. So give purpose to your income. That's the point where you now reallocate that purpose income, a total realistic of your household income. You look at it, then you allocate on a monthly basis how much you want to start using for those things that you propose to, the way you want to propose to live your life. Okay, let me move a little bit quicker. And then the next thing that you need to automate the process. You need to automate the process, and I will explain to us how to automate that process. So for those 4 things, there's a need for you to automate that process. If you don't automate the process, it's going to fail before you are 2-3 months into the year. It's going to just be like another New Year resolution that is going to fail. Somebody said we don't get each New Year resolution done because the year has changed, but the person who is making the resolution has not changed. So if the date has changed from December 31st to January 1st, but the person who made the resolution has not changed. So there's a need for a change in attitude. Okay, and this automation will help you to make that change without you really thinking about it. It just happened automatically, and before you know it has happened, and you don't know what has happened, but it has happened based on what you are programmed, the way you want to give purpose to your money. So how do you automate? So I say create X number of accounts. In most cases, I said maximum of 3 accounts, and I will tell you they don't have to the 3 of them won't be all bank accounts, but I will tell you what this is. So the first thing is that you want an income account which is a current account where your income flows into. So it could be one person's income, it could be joint income, depending on how you run your family. Okay, so you have an account where income goes into. So all your must-haves based on that spreadsheet, all the must-have you have at the top here, they will be on direct debit on that account. So all your direct debit goes to that account, and that is where your money comes into. And so you have direct debit set up on that account. So that's account number 1. Now, account number 2 is the account for recurrent spending that you don't have on direct debit. For instance, your grocery shopping, going to your miscellaneous shopping, your fashion shopping for clothing. I think in my family, we combine miscellaneous spending, feeding, and clothing together into a single account. So that will be another account. This is the account on which you have your debit card to go and spend money. That's the account, the money you take, the card you take around with you everywhere. So, and that is the second account. And so then you now have these two accounts. They don't have to be bank accounts. And I will explain what this could be on the next slide. Okay, so for this particular account, so what happens at the beginning of the month is that this will be by standing order because it's not direct debit. So after you have after you look, let me bring up that spreadsheet again. After that, you look at some of the things you don't, for instance, you do not, feeding is something that occurs on a daily, monthly basis. Okay, childcare will reoccur, and some other things that will reoccur, or fashion, like I've said, that will reoccur to you on a daily basis. Once you know the total, let's assume the total is 1,000, for instance, at the beginning of the month, through standing order, 1,000 will leave that current account. The account where salary is coming into, that 1,000 goes into this recurrent account. And so that is where you spend money from on a monthly basis. And when the money in this account finishes, it means spending for that month has finished. Okay. Once the money in that account finishes, spending for the month has finished. Okay. It means you have to really plan to live within. I think this is where the miscellaneous is where we really normally get it wrong. You just spend so much on your miscellaneous. At the end of the day, you say, what have I spent my money on? You look at it, they are just small, 50 pounds here and there before you know that is gone. So once you've allocated a particular amount to this account, once that amount is getting to like 70%, you'll be cautious. You know that this money must last me to the end of the month. And so you also have budget for your good memory and your good future. And for those, you also need to set up standing orders or direct debit where applicable. And I'm going to explain how that will happen also, or where you can put that into. So for your good memory account, what do you do with it? You put them into easy access or easy access or fixed savings, easy access and fixed savings account. So there are not all fixed savings account are easy access. So there are accounts where when you put your money into it and it's a savings account, maybe you are earning good interest on it, you can't touch it until the end of the year. So for me, the money that falls into this kind of category are the money for holidays. Maybe in the next 6 months now, by the time summer is going to come, you want to go on an holiday. Okay. So the money for that holiday goes into this good memory account. So for me, I put money into NS&I. NS&I is you borrowing government money. The money does not yield any interest, but you have the possibility of winning up to $1 million from it. It's 100% secure. So you can withdraw your money at any time. But for every money you leave there on a monthly basis, they do a draw on every pound that you put into NS&I, and you can win between 25 pounds. You can win between 0 to 1 million per pound that you put into NS&I on a monthly basis. So any money that I need in the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or less than a year, I put them here. Another place where you can put them is ISA account. You can put such money in easy access ISA account. For instance, if you look at, I think is, let me exit full screen here. Go to always show ribbon. So if you look at a company called Trading 212, Trading 212 will give you currently the best rate on your savings account. So if I come around, your cash ISA, their cash ISA is easy access cash ISA. It pays interest on a daily basis. Okay, so the interest is on a daily basis. Yeah, I only put 50 pounds into this ISA account, but I get 1p every day in interest. So I can withdraw my money at any time without any charge, any penalty. It's easy access. Whereas on ISA, you are fixed for the next 1 year. Okay, so for the good memory, if I go back to my slide, for the good memory money, there is either in the money market instrument that you can easily liquidate, or their NS&I, or they are in the easy access savings account. And so when you want to have that dinner date, you just withdraw money. Or want to go on that holiday, you withdraw that money. You want to take your children to on a fun park, you go there, withdraw that money and use that money. Okay. And so the next one, which we will now focus on, is that future, the future money. So these are links to where you can go on price comparison website to look at savings as ISA that are easy access, and go on Money Expert Savings, look at that, or compare the market to check savings account that are easy access that will give you good interest on your money on a short-term basis. Okay, the Training 212, which I said is currently the best. I think they pay 4.9% per annum as interest, and I think that seems to be the best in the United Kingdom right now. For the first year, they pay 4.9% on or interest on your money. Okay, and then that's the website nsni.com. That is where that is the website. So the next thing I'm going to look at is, where does your good future money go? Okay, your must have, don't forget, your must have direct debit is on your current account where your income is coming into. The next one is your recurrent expenditure on the account where you have your debit card that you carry around for your miscellaneous, your feeding, and then for your clothing. And then you now have a good memory account that could go in a short-term savings account, easy access savings account, or NSNI. You now have the good future money. This is the money for retirement. This is the money for children education. This is money you don't need in the next 5 years. It could be a project you are targeting in 5 years' time. Okay, one time I'm going to buy my car. I'm going to buy my car cash down. Well, I want to pay off this mortgage and I want to put a lump sum in the next, when I'm remortgaging, the next 2 or 3 or 4 years or 5 years. Or it could be that this is towards my retirement. This is towards my children education. This is towards, whatever it is. I want to start a business. I want to buy a property, and this is towards it. Those are some of those things that will classify into long-term, good future kind of accounts. Where do you put such money? So this money should go into an investment account. And that is, you don't want to put such money in savings account, because how much will savings give you? Like I said, at most, savings will give you 5% per year. So you want income or cash flow producing assets. That is where you really want to put this kind of money into, an income or cash flow producing asset, because it is long term. If you're not understanding this, please feel free to ask questions anytime. Like I've said earlier, put your question in the chat. You can put it anonymously, or you can put it just directly. Okay, or you can direct it just to me. Income, a cash producing, you want a cash or income producing asset. And so let's go into that now. So what are those? There are a lot of them. Okay, real estate is there. You starting a business is there. Treasury bill, treasury bill is there. Bonds are there. You have certificate of deposit, mutual fund, ETFs, collectibles, precious metals, annuity, a lot of things. Savings account here. But you have a lot of these are asset classes anyway. You have a lot of such where you can put money into on a long-term basis, which is your good future money. But today I will only talk about equities. I won't be able to get to real estate because the time is very short. But I'm going to talk about equity. The reason I'm going to talk about equity, you will see. So we have real estate, you have stock. So I'm going to talk about stock. Section 3 is supposed to be the stock market. If I real estate can get there, I will get there though. But let's see how far I can go. Okay, so your so far so good. If you have any question, you can please put in the chat. We spent about an hour, almost 50 minutes on this now. If you have any question, please feel free to put in the chat. And if you gain anything, can you give me a thumbs up? I think I've been talking non-stop. So if you are there, you think what I'm saying is making a little bit of sense to you, can you please give me a thumbs up? Let me know you are still there. I'm not speaking to myself. Okay, I'm waiting for, okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Okay, so I believe you can still hear me. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you 100%. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so I'll move on to the next one. So in this next one, thank you for that thumbs up. Thank you for that. Okay, so in this next session, we're looking at your good future money. Where does it go? So I decided to split that into three heading. The 30% return on investment account is available. I will explain what that is. You probably know it, but you don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. How to make your children a millionaire. You see, a lot of things are changing in the country, and there's a need for me to teach us on that. How never to pay taxes on your investment. And I will use those 3 headings to explain what happens with your good future money. Okay. So passive income through stock market investment, low entry level. And the reason why I'm choosing to make that the first one to talk about is because of that low entry level. For your good future money, you can start with £1 and you can start it today. And that's the reason why I didn't go into Q&A. Someone asked me, okay, he said, thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Please, I will appreciate if you can talk on things to do to make extra money, either from home, online, or anything. Okay, your question is noted. I will see if we can get there. I didn't prepare for that today, but I have. If you come for my training next month, I would touch on how you can increase your capacity to earn more money and what can you do to earn more money. And that, I think that topic is winning with money, and that is what we're going to do next month. I think on the 20th of February, I'm going to have that, and it's going to be a free class. I'm going to have that class. Okay. So, okay, thank you for that question. Okay, so the next one, okay, like I said, it's very easy for you to get into, and that's why I want to explain it, and I will tell you the reason why you should not be scared getting into it. Like I tell people, it's a good dog that we've given a very bad name due to past experiences. So investing in stock is you becoming shareholders of company. When you become shareholders of company, there are rights and responsibilities, and there are also, things that you enjoy being one. So I think I did a search in my email I was going to put on the screen, and if you look at this, so you can see I've tried to look at vote. So as a shareholder of some company, you'll be invited, for instance, to come and vote. I'll be invited to come and vote on what will happen in Apple, vote on what will happen in Microsoft, and some of the other. Kroger is a retail company, Nvidia. You get those kind of mail because you have the right, you are a shareholder, and then you have the right to vote, talk about what is going on within the company. For instance, so that's some of your responsibility as a shareholder, and that is what I want to explain to us. And what does that mean? You interact with stocks and mutual funds and ETFs through the stock market. We have London stock market, New York. These are just a common one, the Euronext, the Frankfurt, and a lot more. If you want to have a list of some of them, if you go on Yahoo Finance, if I put in Yahoo Finance here, you will see a lot of them. The Asian market, you have Nifty 50, and then which is 50 from India. Santas is India. You have Hong Kong. You have Japan, and then you also have you have Spain. You have Spain. You have CAC is France. You have UK. You have Germany, and then you have America. So there are quite a number of stock market. Every country has got a stock market. Let me just put it that way. But these days, you're able to interact with the stock market from your phone. You only need an app on your phone to be able to interact with the stock market. And so let's look at a few things. Why stock market? Like I said, it's easy for you to get on. It's with £1 you can start. And I want to let us know that a bulk of the money you contribute at work as your pension, they all end up in stock market. A lot of nations like Norway, like Abu Dhabi, like Qatar, like America, China, Japan, they got trillions and trillions of dollars, okay, that are invested in the stock market. And that is where I did a video on which country do you want to be out of these 5 countries, of how people are building billions, countries are making billions from sovereign fund. Their sovereign fund more than what they are making from oil. For example, Norway is making a lot of money than some countries in Africa. For instance, Nigeria is making from oil, and they are making it from the stock market through their sovereign fund. And just back to this page again. Today, I'm not talking about trading. I'm not talking about crypto. I have some crypto, but I don't train on crypto. And I own about £900 in crypto. And this is not about trading, it's about investing. Okay, it's about investing. Okay, investing platforms are things, like I've said, through your phone, through which you can connect to the stock market. So the first thing you do with your future money is that 30% return on investment account. And the first one of it is LISA. So LISA is an account. I beg people to please open LISA accounts. If you are age 18 to age 39, I normally plead with people, just go and open a LISA account and put £1 into it, especially if you are yet to buy your first house. If you are yet to buy your first house, please go and open a LISA account, and you are not yet 40. Go open a LISA account. You know, LISA account is the only account in this UK where you can almost get a guaranteed 30% on your money. I don't know where else you can get that much return, okay, except again in the stock market. When it comes to savings account, where you can get up to 30%, 28, 29, 30% on your money, that is a LISA account. What is a LISA account? A LISA account is a lifetime individual savings account recognized by the government, okay? And what makes it attractive is the fact that the government will give you 25% of any amount you put into it, okay, up to the tune of 1,000. So it means the maximum you can put into it is 4,000 on a yearly basis. Once you put in, you can put any amount, but maximum is 4,000. So if you put 1,000, you get 250 pounds on top of it, which is 25% of your money. And you can keep getting this money until you are age 60, age 50. Until you turn age 50, you keep getting money from the government until you turn 50. Okay, and then you can, the purpose of these two things you can use your LISA account for. One, you can buy your first house with it, and the house cannot be more than 450,000. That is legible. You can buy your first house with it. If you don't buy your first house with it, you leave it until retirement, becomes your retirement account. And the reason why I say I beg people to come out to do it is, okay, let's assume now you're opening your LISA account today, and if you put 4,000 today, you get 1,000 today before April 6. After April 6, April 7, you put another 4,000, you get another 1,000 from government. So if you put in 8,000 between now and April 7 this year, between now and April 7 this year, you get 2,000 pounds from government. And so if you're planning to buy your house in 1 year's time, you know, that's a way. Again, by April next, April 6 next year, April 7 next year, another 4,000, another 1,000 from government. And the platform on which you are investing your money will also give you interest on your money, at times up to 4-5%. And that is where I got the 30% from. Okay, so what are the cons? The disadvantage of this account is that if you don't buy your first out with it, you must leave it with it. You must leave it until you are 60, which is retirement. If you withdraw before 60, you'll be penalized. Government will take their 25% back from you. It's going to be 25% of anything you withdraw from the account plus your gain. They get 25% of anything you withdraw if you don't buy your first out with it and you withdraw it before you are 60. So that after buying your house, you can continue to put money into it until you are age 50. Okay, and let me tell you, this age 60 is not bad. The advantage is that when you retire, you don't pay taxes. So because you don't pay taxes on ISA, but every pension contribution you are making today, you keep paying taxes even when you retire. Just the way you'll be 20% rate based on how much you withdraw, 40% rate, 45% rate, you will still be paying taxes when you retire. But we should retire with a LISA. You don't pay taxes at all when you retire. That makes it the best retirement account so far that I know in the UK. Okay, before you can buy your first house with it, you must leave the money in your account for at least 12 months. So if you're saving towards a good future of buying a house and you are under 40 and you want to buy your house at least in the next 12 months, this is a way to go. If you are buying the next 12 months, you can still take advantage of 2,000 from the government, 4,000 before April 6, and 4,000 after April 6. We give you 1,000 each. Okay, you can open it with AJ Bell, you can open it with Moneybox, or Tembo Money, or AJ Bell, Nutmeg. They will all open for you a cash LISA. You can also open a stock and share LISA if you want the money for a very long time, for instance, for retirement. Put it into stock and shares, not a cash LISA. It means on top of the 25% that government is going to give you, any increase, appreciation of the stock that you bought will be added to it. And I'm telling you, you could get as much as 60% on this, because my stock last year gave me 35% return last year. Year before the last is also about 30-something percent year before the last. So if I have a LISA, I'll probably be having 60% of my money on a yearly basis. Okay? And you can't get that in any other savings account. So that is one way you can put your good feature in. You can say, okay, well, I'm not 18, I'm above 40, I'm not up to 18 yet. So there is a way for you to make your children a millionaire. And what do I mean by this? The tax rules in UK is changing. The rules are changing. Currently, Labour came in and they brought in a lot of other rules that will impact on inheritance taxes. So what I'm telling people right now, instead of you building wealth just for yourself, and when you are old and you pass away, government will come and take 40% of your money or half of your money, or how much inheritance tax is going to be then. Why not start making your children millionaire right now? Why not start putting that money, instead of me going to buy another house now? I'll just buy a house for my child as a gift. I just gift them a deposit to go and buy a house. Okay? And then before they are 40 or before they are 30, they're already millionaires. So that is the aspect you want to start shifting your strategy to. It's not about you acquiring 10, 20 properties right now. It's about you making sure your children are settled. By the time they are 30, in their 30s, they are already millionaires. By the time they are out, by the time they are in uni, they're already landlords when they are in uni. I think a question just came in there now. Okay, somebody said, what is the advantage of stock ISA and cash ISA, please? Okay, I'm going to get there. After this, that is what I'm going to go into. Okay. I will explain that after this. So this is a form of ISA, but this is called a junior ISA. So people who are zero, the child you give back to today, and those who are under 18. Once you turn 18, you can't open a junior ISA anymore. And what do is a savings towards their college of their first house, or just for their retirement, just for them to enjoy life in the future. Okay, you can put into it a maximum of 9,000 per year, or 750 per month is the maximum you can put into it. Every profit made is tax-free. When your child turns 18, they take control of the account without, the government will not tell you about it. They just email your child to say, you now have an account, you turn 18, take over this account. So you must teach your children what to use the money for once they turn 18. So they don't, they come say, okay, I want to travel the world for 1 year. I'm not going to work. Mommy, I save up money for me. Well, that is very good, but you don't want them to abandon their education to go and do that. Okay. So, I'm going to demonstrate a little bit here. How can your child become a millionaire with ISA? So I'm just going to show us a few simulations, because the earlier you start doing some of these things, the better. And that is what I'm going to demonstrate very quickly to us. And before maybe I could answer this question in the advantage of cash and stock. Okay, advantage of cash against stock. Okay, I will answer that as I go here. So I'm going to bring up a calculator that will give us an idea of what you might be setting up your children to have in the next few years. So it's a compound interest calculator, and the percentage I'm going to use, I'll tell you the reason why I'm using that percentage. So let's assume you have a child, and I'm going to use 12% this time around, not 10%. And then if it's a newborn child, and then all you do for them is that you put £100 aside for them on a monthly basis at 12%. By the time they turn 18, they're going to have £76,000. The unit doesn't matter. It could be any currency. They will have £76,000 when they turn 18. Okay, the amount looks so little. I'm sure you attest to it that you are able to put aside £100. It won't be the end of the world if you had been putting £100. If you have been putting £100 aside for the last 10 years, it won't be the end of the world. Okay, and this is where you are right now for that child. What does this mean for the child? They can make a deposit for their first house with this. They can go to college, without having to have a student loan. So we say, okay, a lot of people don't pay back the student loan. Like, I was in a training on Saturday. Someone said, okay, why, let children get the loan. A lot of them will not pay back the loan. And I said, and my response was for the person was that, do you want your children to get a low paying job, 30K job, 40K job? If the answer is yes, then probably they won't pay back. But we all want our children to become investment bankers, become software engineers, become doctors and whatever. If you are such, you will pay back 100% of your loan, because you pay based on how much you earn. So we want our children to be on 30, 20,000, 30,000, not more than that. Maybe they won't end up paying, the loan. But if you want them to have good jobs, they will end up paying. It means they're going to start their life with like 80,000 loan to start their life. You can avoid that. You can reduce that. Maybe they're already 10 years old and you know that, you probably can't, maybe you can only go for the next 10 years. Okay. You might, at least you will augment that amount to a large extent. 23,000 off whatever they're going to loan is something very good. It could be towards their first house or whatever you want to use it for. Okay. And what am I saying? The earlier we start, the better. Okay. And then if, let's assume the money was there and they really, maybe they use it and let me look at my next slide. Maybe I think I did a calculation that will probably give us more. Okay. For instance, if you start age 20 and you put aside 24 pounds, you can reach $500,000 by the time you are 65. But if you wait till when you are 40, you need 270 pounds on a monthly basis to reach the same amount when you are 65. But you wait till when you are 50, you need £1,000 every month to get to $500,000 in 15 years. So what am I saying? The earlier you start or you start for them, the better. Investment works better. That good feature we are looking at, becomes better when we stop procrastinating and we take action now. And the action we want us to take after this training is not about how much, it's about just doing something. But all the people that have said, okay, just do something. After they've done something for like 3 months, they come out to say, I want to increase the amount. Suddenly they have the money to increase the amount because they've seen the benefit of investing. Okay, they've seen the benefit of putting around that 10 pounds or 20 pounds. They've seen the benefit. They started seeing 10%, 20% on their return on their money. And they say, okay, I want to increase the money. Okay, so it's just about starting. And so I did a calculation here that let's assume that you did 200, you're doing 200 for your child on a monthly basis. By the time they turn 18, you have 120,000 in that account. University per year is 9,000 on the average. 12,000 for housing, 1,000 per month for their rent, 6,000 per year. Sorry, that will be 12,000 in a year. 6,000, maybe 500 for feeding above 6,000 in a year. That will be 27,000. 27,000 per year. Yes, times 3, that would be 81,000 to go to school. And then if they bought their first house, 25% for their first house, 10% of 250,000 house is a big house for a student. But depending on the city where they are, it might be what they will get. At the end of the day, you have a balance of 15,000 in that account. Okay, so if they finish school with a house and the 15,000 in their investment account, and then they can now continue from there, from let's say age 20, age 21 till they are 45, that would be another 25 years. And now it's now their responsibility to put money into that account. Even if they just put 250 pounds into their account on a monthly basis, they're almost getting to $1 million by the time they are 45. So they don't need to contribute massively into pension because they already have a pension, that daddy mommy has set up for them. And if they're already 16, encourage them to go and open an investment account. They're already 18, they're already going, they're already working, making some money, part-time jobs. Encourage them to go and open an ISA account or a LISA account, so that by the time they are 30, 35, by the time they are 40, they're already ready to retire. Okay, so that's how to make your child a millionaire. So if you look at it, now put that money for another 25 years. By the time they turn 55 and 250 on a monthly basis, they will have 1.4 million in that account when they are ready to retire. Okay, now let me quickly answer the question I have in the chat. Okay. Okay, you put up your hand. That's okay. Let me see if I can allow you to speak. Allowed to talk. Okay, I've unmuted your mic. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for this class and thank you for the opportunity for me to ask my question.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so the compound interest you just explained, yes. On what platform, which of the, is it one of the ISAs that I could do that kind of savings for it to accrue like that? Where can I do that savings? Where can I be putting that maybe 24 pounds or £100 every month if I'm saving for a child in
Okay.
future?
Okay. So thank you for that question. I will explain the options. So let me start from your first question. I think the advantage of stock ISA and share. So the cash ISA gives you a fixed interest rate. So let me go to my browser and do a search. Okay, let's look for cash ISA accounts. Okay, and let's go to a price comparison website and look at what they have there. So for instance, so the cash ISA will give you, I think this is Steve, this is now 4.9. No, it's no longer 5.1. Okay, so the ISA gives you a fixed income. Okay, and then if it's flexible, it means you can easily withdraw money from it. So it gives you a fixed income. It's like any other savings account, and then your money is protected based on the insurance, based on the normal insurance, deposit insurance that covers up to, I think, 70 something thousand of all the money you have across all your accounts. So you have that there. That is an ISA, a cash ISA account. It's another savings account. The only thing is that there's an ISA wrapper around it, so you don't have to pay taxes on your income on that account. Whereas the stock ISA is when you go and buy mutual funds, or you buy ETFs, or you buy individual stocks with that money, or you invest in bonds with that money. Now, the difference is that the performance is not fixed. Okay, the performance of the asset you bought is not fixed. So the money could be more than 5%, it could be less than 5%. But on the average, what we intend to see on the average is that we see 10% on the average that you should be able to get. So if you look at the history of the stock market in the last 95 years, it has returned an average of about 10%. Okay, so this is a website where you can see that. So for instance, S&P 500 are the 500 top companies in America by market capitalization. If you look at them in the last, I think since in the last how many years now? Since 1928. So it has returned an average of 11%. So you have the possibility of getting an average of 11% on your money if you are in the stock market, if you leave your money there for a good time. Okay, not put in today and withdraw it tomorrow. So if you can look at the last few years, 2024 is 25%, 26%, 2023 minus 18%. So that is where it's different from savings. 2022 plus 30%, 21 plus, if you look at the last 20 years, 2014 to 2024, it's only 2 years that was negative. Okay, the remaining one was positive. And if you look at the history of stock market over the years, you can see that you only have very few years when you have negative. So on the average, you're looking at 11%. That was why I used 12% for my calculation. You're looking at something like this return. And so that is the difference between stock ISA and cash ISA. One is fixed income, one is variable income depending on the performance of the instrument that you bought. Okay, I have this for my anonymous. I'll get to the other question. Okay, before going to that, and to the second question on the chart. So where can you get this rate? Okay, so it depends on which. So if you want to do this 12%, like I said, you can get 12% in the stock market. And so it is my job, and this is what I also take in the masterclass. It is my job to show you the things that you can put money into that will give you at least 15% return. So we use 12% for that calculation. So that you go with a cash ISA that gives you 4%. And so this calculation will be done based on 4%, okay? Or you do stock, and stock can give you, like I said, at least 10, 12% on the average. And talking about the company where you can open them, I'll show us a few apps where we can open any of these type of instrument, any type of this, all of these accounts. I will show you where you can open them. So another question here say, I have my ISA with HL. Can I open cash ISA with other platforms? Yes. So from January last year, you've been allowed to open multiple. You've been allowed to open multiple ISA of the same type, and in fact, you can have your cash ISA more than one company. You can have your stock ISA in more than one company. I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have about 4, 5 stock ISA accounts. Okay, so you're allowed to go open a cash ISA or a stock and share ISA with another company. That is allowed. That rule changed January last year. No, sorry, April last year was when the rule changed. Okay, another one in the chat. How to start investing in that junior ISA, please, especially when they are closer to 18. So what will happen is you start immediately before they turn 18, but once they turn 18, the account becomes a normal ISA. It's no longer a junior ISA, it becomes a normal adult ISA. And now to start that, because it's going to be, if they are for children, I normally advocate that you do stock. They have a long time to weather whatever happens in the stock market. And so so for stock market, you want to give at least 5 years. So they have the time to weather whatever happens in the stock market. And so I would advocate I would suggest, let me use the word suggest, that you use a stock ISA, which become a stock ISA when they turn, a stock junior ISA, which becomes a stock ISA once they turn 18. Okay, and I'll show you platforms in a moment through which you can do that. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the ISA account. That is how never to pay money on your investment. When you have an ISA account, you can put up to 20,000 in a year. Anything within that 20,000, you don't pay tax on your profits. So all the money I'm making on my ISA, when I withdraw it, I don't have to pay taxes on them. Okay, and then from age 18 to whenever you can open the ISA account. And we have thousands of people today who are millionaires who don't pay taxes because they have an ISA. They are ISA millionaires. Okay, they max out their 20, because ISA started 20 years, 25 years ago. So it's going to make it 26 years this year. For the last 26 years, there have been no taxes on ISAs. Some people have maxed out their amounts, the allowance for the year, and they are now millionaires and they don't pay taxes anymore. And so you want to get as far as you can putting money into ISA so that you can also start enjoying. If there's anything you want to, you don't want to pay in this country, is taxes. They're just too high. Okay, so if you can have a LISA and then a normal ISA. So, but your allowance remains 20,000. So if you put your 4,000 into your LISA, you have 16,000 left to put into your ISA. And your stock ISA, your cash ISA, your LISA, they share the same 20,000. You can't put more than 20,000 across all of them. That same 20,000. Okay, and you can start with as little as £1 actually today. Okay. Now, so we have, and the next one I'm going to talk about in also making your children a millionaire this time around is your junior SIP. So you can actually open a retirement account for your child from age 0 to age 17. They can open what a junior SIP. A SIP is self-invested pension, self-invested personal pension. And the advantage of this again is that any money you put into it, you get 20% of that money top up for you by the government. So, and the maximum you can invest for your child's pension is 2,880, and the government will add 20% to it to make it 3,600. It's another 20% account that you can get for your child from age 0 until they turn 18. So what the government is trying to do here, they try to return back to you any amount you paid on as taxes. So if you are a higher rate taxpayer, you can claim more, okay, can claim more back from the government. But this is what you have for your children, but they can't touch the money until they turn 55. But the age is, by 2028, the age is going to 58. So you can't touch money in your pension account until you turn 58. And that's the reason why LISA, which is age 60, is not different from your normal retirement account, which is going to be age 58 very soon. You can as well wait for 2 years and be tax-free with a LISA than you not having a LISA and start paying tax 2 years, just tap into here 2 years before. And so the other part of SIP is the senior SIP, which is retirement account for adults. Okay, so what I advise people to do, and this is what I do, is to have parallel to your workplace pension. Some of us that work with the NHS, you pay probably a lot into your NHS pension already, maybe about 13% into NHS pension. And so you might say, okay, maybe that is enough for me. But what I still tell people to do is to have another parallel account. If you look at how much they remove from our pension, from our salary at work, it's just too small. I have to fight to increase mine to 10%. So at times they remove just 3.5%. Which is not enough by the time you're retiring. The average pension pot in this country is 250 for male and below that for female. And 250 doesn't take you too far in retirement. So I advocate people have at least $500,000 in their retirement account or even more than that. And so what I've done is to have a parallel account, which is a SIP account. And so in all your pension, you can put in up to 60,000 into all your pension, and government can give you back as high as 45% or whatever you contribute into your SIP, okay? Depending on which tax bracket that you fall into. So let's look at the tax. What's the time? The tax bracket. Tax bracket. The tax bracket for. So this is the tax band. So for people, even if you are on benefit and you don't earn any money at all, but you put money into your SIP, okay, people who earn 0 to people who earn 50,270, government will give you 20% on top of any money you put into your SIP. Okay, so it means you're giving your tax back. If you are a higher rate taxpayer, you earn between 50 to 125,000. Government will give you an extra 20%, making it 40% back of any money you put into your SIP. But you claim this one, 20% will come automatically into your account, but you claim the remaining 20% back through your self-assessment. If you earn over 125,000, you get 45%. 20% goes automatically into your investment account. The remaining 25% will become tax relief. So your tax-free allowance will go up by the amount you've invested into your pension. Okay, 25% of the amount you invest in your pension will be added to this to 12. For instance, for this year, my tax-free allowance is about 16,000, on which I won't pay tax on because I've invested money into. So 25% of money that I put into my pension, SIP pension last year, about 4,000 plus, is being added to this, and then I won't pay tax on it this year. So that is the way SIP works. So then also for your SIP, you do stock and share SIP because it's long term. And if I don't know any retirement account that is a cash savings account, they are all stock, bond, or real estate kind of investments. And so by the time you turn 55, the age is going to change to 57, by 2028. And by then you can withdraw 25% of your pension tax-free. That's the only part of your pension that is going to be tax-free. So if you have a million pound in your pension, you can withdraw 250,000 pounds tax-free when you turn 57. Unless you're going to be 55 before 2028. You can withdraw it currently 55, you can withdraw 250,000, for example, tax-free. Anything you withdraw thereafter, you pay taxes on it as per normal based on these brackets that I have shown us. That's how we're going to pay pay taxes when we retire. Okay, now let's go into opening those accounts like we've been asking. So how do you, these are just, I probably won't be able to go into these. These are returns from the stock market over the period of years. that some of these companies have existed. Let me look at the time we have. Okay. Maybe I can just pick on a few of them. Okay, so let's pick on. I will allow us to give me answers to these. So from the chart, so people have been asking, what can I invest in? So I want you to look at it. If you have money today and you want to invest, you want to choose on a company, which company will you likely put your money into? Please put in the chat. And let's see how that company has done in the last 1 year or in the last 5 years. Give me a company that you think that if you are just to close your eyes and just say this, I don't mind having the shares of this company, what will that company be? Anybody in the chat, what will that company be? For me, I'm going to do my Microsoft because I use a lot of Microsoft product. Okay, someone is putting something. Someone say, I'm going to put Apple, Amazon. Okay, let's see how this company have done in the last 1 year. So this is Microsoft. In the last 1 year, Microsoft did just 11%. Okay, but as a way I can also look at it, let me bring up another website that could help us understand this better, that will give us historical return of some of these companies we have in the chart. Okay, so let's assume, so this will give us a long-term historical. So Microsoft, for instance, let's assume we own Microsoft for the last 10 years. You bought it 2015, January 23, 2015, and you put in 2,000 into Microsoft. How much will that money be right now? Microsoft would have given you, okay, let's calculate. Okay, it's not calculating. Let me see, MSFT. Okay, so that your 2,000 would have become 21,000. So it's an average. So Microsoft will have given you an average of 26% on a yearly basis. There's no savings account that can beat that. And we know that Microsoft is a very strong company. It's a very stable, strong company that I believe will still be here for time to come. Okay, so it will have given you an average of 20% return on your money on a yearly basis. So someone said Apple. So for Apple, in the last 10 years, what would Apple will give you 17,000. If you put 2,000 into Apple 10 years ago and you close your platform, and that is why it is passive. You don't have to do anything. Apple will have given you an average of 24% on a yearly basis. Someone else said Amazon. And Amazon Inc. in the last 10 years would have given you 23,000, an average of 27% on a yearly basis, which like I said, someone also said Tesla. And so how much would Tesla, it would have given you 35,000, which is a 33% return on a yearly basis in the last 10 years. So we can see that when you allow long term, and if you look at it even on a yearly basis, so Microsoft will have given you 11%. So what would you have with Apple? Apple will have given you 14%. Okay, Amazon in the last 1 year. So Amazon would have given you 50% on your money in the last 1 year, and Tesla would have given you 96% of your money in the last 1 year. Okay, and so let me quickly just give us an understanding here. So what people see, why people say stock market is, it doesn't go on a straight line. It goes up, down, up, down. Like today now, Tesla is minus 0.9, sorry, minus 0.9. But when you look at it over a year, it's 96%. So notice all this up and down, up and down, up and down. But what I can tell you is that if you are patient and you just let it be, it turns out to be, to give you a good return at the end of the day. So S&P 500 is, all 500 companies in America. Like I said, if you look at their summary in the last, from year 1990, this is 1997 to date, you can see is in upward trajectory. So for those of us who are old enough to know the dot-com bubble and bust in 2000, you can see it came down, but it's up. It went up. When the financial crisis 2008, it came down, it went up. And this coronavirus 2000, it came down sharply, it went up. This is 2022. inflation, when inflation was very high, it came down, but you can see where it is today. Okay, it's all you need to do is just put your money and forget about it. Okay, and then if you give it 5 years, 10 years, all those up and down evens out, and then it's usually on the upward trajectory, and that is what I have been benefiting from. Okay, let's quickly wrap up the class. So where can you put this money into? I said doing nothing or procrastinating is riskier than making an informed decision. And I'm here as a coach to guide us so we can make an informed decision. And that is my work. And my own principle is that you protect your capital. If there's anything I'm going to do, anything I know I tell people to do is, first thing is that you protect your capital. And that's what Warren Buffett said. He said the second rule of investing, remember the first one, which is protect your capital. And to be honest with you, I can boldly say that in like 10 decades, a decade of investing consistently in the stock market, I would say I have not lost money. Why? Because I play by rules that I will teach us. Okay, so if you live in Nigeria, these are some of the investment platform in Stanbic IBTC. They all have ETFs, they have mutual funds these days, they have individual store, they have money market, you have all of them. Some of these new ones and even the old ones, you can do dollar-denominated investment, and on these new ones, you can do dollar-denominated investment in Nigeria. And in America, if anybody's from America here, these are the common popular ones. And then in Canada, these are the popular ones in Canada, but this is UK. And so these are the ones. So to answer the question, where can you invest? These are the platforms where you can invest. But when you get into this platform, you now have the option of which type of account do you want to open. Do you want a LISA? They don't all offer LISAs. Okay, some of them offer, some of them don't offer. So do you want to open LISA? Do you want to open an ISA? Do you want a cash ISA or a stock and share ISA, a stock and share LISA or a cash LISA? Do you want a SIP? A SIP is all stock, so you have to do it stock or mutual fund and the rest of them. So all of these, they offer different products. Now I have with the following company, I have Trading 212, Free Trade, HL, and Interactive Investor, and Moneybox. Those are the ones where I have my investments. Okay, HL will offer almost all kind of accounts for your children. It will offer junior. Okay, I think there's a question on if you want to do children account, which one can you start with right now? Okay, you can open with HL. And when you open it with HL, what you're going to do there, what you will do with HL, either HL or AJ Bell or Interactive Investor. Okay, what you do, you go to investing, accounts, you have junior, stock, and share ISA. What they offer, so they offer cash ISA here, but again, you have the LISA, you have the stock ISA. Now, HL fees are very high. If you're going to open junior ISA with them, what you're going to buy, you buy only funds. With funds, you don't have to pay charges. You don't have to pay, not charges, you don't have to pay transaction fee for buying mutual funds with them. But there's a yearly 0.45% that you pay, but you don't pay when you are buying. Just like what you pay when you are buying individual stocks. So you also have AJ Bell and HL, they are the biggest in United Kingdom. You also have the junior ISA here, lifetime ISA here. You have the normal ISA, and then you have the pension, which is the SIP there. Interactive Investor, the same thing. It's trying to log me into my account. So they also have that. They also have accountant services. They have the junior ISA, they have all of that. But the new generation ones, okay, where you can get the cheapest, where you can, for instance, this is an example of stock ISA I opened last year, May, when the rule changed. This is giving me a 29% return, rate of return in the last up to 1 year. I opened it, like I said, I opened May last year. And so here, these ones, you don't pay for transaction. And there's something called fractional shares. They allow you fractional shares. And that's the reason why you don't get fractional shares here. You don't get fractional shares here. You don't get fractional shares here. But what you can get is when you buy fund, you can buy fund as little as £25 per fund. That's the lowest you can go on some of these platforms, £25 per fund for your children. But if you really, really want to do ISA, these people don't offer LISA or junior ISA. They only offer the senior ISAs, and then they allow you fractional shares. Let me explain what fractional shares are before we move on. So if you look at I have a list of stock here. Some of these companies that I've invested in. If you look at the price, you can see Coca-Cola Consolidated, that's Coca-Cola in America, is 1,300. It means if you don't have 1,300, you cannot buy, you can buy, that's when you can buy one stock. So on HL, on Interactive Investor, on AJBell, you need 1,300 to buy just one share of Coca-Cola Consolidated. Or to buy Netflix, you need 980. To buy Costco, you need 940. Or to buy Meta, Facebook, you need £600 to buy just one share. But with all these new platforms, you can buy £1 of this. They give you 0.0000 whatever what you've bought. Okay, for instance, if I look at my portfolio and look at maybe one of them, those are the UK. Let me look at the US one. So if you look at this now, you can see on Nvidia, I have just more amount on some of this, on some of the ones I have here. So I just have a particular fraction. So if you look at it, it's saying I have 0.16 of that share of that particular company. So that's fractional. And I bought it, £20 until I have £200 in it. So that's the advantage of the new company such as Trading 212, Free Trade. So those are the Lightyear, Best Invest, Moneybox. They allow you fraction. I don't think we allow fractional shares. They allow you fractional shares. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, website. These are the address for some of them. And so as I'm wrapping up this class, he said the best time to plant a tree was 7 years ago, and the next best time is now. What of eToro? Good question. I'm just in that question. So let's go to eToro. Okay, eToro. So eToro is a trading platform. Maybe they've started offering the other so investing. Okay, so they now have investing. Okay, but I don't use eToro. And so normally eToro was popular for being a trading platform, and I don't want us to trade. Okay, so if you go to their trading website, the reason why I don't like people to trade is if you come around to their trading side, you see that 51% of people that trade lose money. And that is a very good one with eToro. It's usually like 70% of people. So you don't want to trade. You want where your capital is protected to a very large extent. So I can see that they have, they didn't tell us whether they offer investment portfolios, whether they offer ISA, LISA, and the rest of them. They should, it should be obvious what you can open. So I don't think eToro will offer the kind of things we are looking for. Okay. I know they do fractional, but I don't think they offer the kind of, I can't see here, like LISA, ISA, whatever that is tax efficient. Even when you go on Trading 212, for instance, Trading 212, you have to be careful of the accounts you open. So they have different accounts. So you don't, what you want to open is, you don't open Invest. Invest is like trading. You pay taxes on this. Sorry, this one is not an ISA account, so you pay taxes on the CFD is trading. Also, you don't pay taxes on CFD, but that's trading. You pay taxes on Invest. So these are the two you want to look at for instance. Okay. Any other question there? So eToro, I'm not sure they have the kind of accounts we are looking at here, and they are majorly trading platform. So I said the best time is now, and then that from all your earnings, a bulk of it is for food and for recurrent expenditure, but a part of it is for you to give away, while a part of it is you seed for your future, and that is with that good feature that you want to make sure you have a budget for. Okay, so for the stock market, how do you put money? What do you know what to buy? So let me give you a secret of where to start. If you want to start today, the best you want to start with is ETFs. Okay, ETFs is what you want to start with, exchange traded fund. I'm going to give you an expo of 2 ETFs that you should buy. So if you want to start today, you can't wait for a master class. So I'm going to show you. So Nasdaq 100 and where's the second one? Nasdaq 100. I think the second one is now here. Should be there though. Now 100, I can't find the other one. But the one you want to buy, the one you want to buy is S&P 500, okay, ETF, and Nasdaq 100 ETF. These two. So this did 29% last year. That's Nasdaq. S&P did 25% last year. So this one, they are baskets. If you buy ETF, they are basket of a lot of companies within them. And so that's a decent return, okay? It's a very decent return. You can be sure of a 10, 12% over the next years to come. At least in the last 95 years of history that we have, they've done average of about 10, 12 to 10, 11% thereabout. So that is the confidence that we have. Okay, so do your research, diversify, be consistent, don't follow the crowd, and above all, be patient. Buy it and forget about it. So that is the class today. So what are the next steps? Okay, the next thing that I want us to do is choose which investment you desire to do. Invest in, okay, choose which investment you desire to invest your time into and your money into. Okay, educate yourself more. The more you know, the more you earn. Education will help give you confidence and help you to mitigate against the risks that are out in the investment terrain, either be it property, be it stock, be it even you having a side hustle. And the person who was asking for, other things you can do to make money, like I said, I won't be able to get there this month. I'll get there next month when I have a free class. Okay, create a purpose list like we've already discussed. Don't forget to add yourself as part of the expense. So that is your good future money, which is pay yourself, your investment money, your education money, your self-development money. Make sure you have it there. Your holiday money, your fun money, your dinner date money. Make sure it's all there, and make sure you start to pay off the debt. So create an action plan to be debt free if you are not yet debt free, and then set of standing order, for your investment account, for your spending account, for your good memory account, for your good feature account. Open your investment account, be it an ISA or ISA, a junior ISA, a LISA. Make sure you open one. Then invest in your first share, in your first fund, whatever you want to do. Put something. Then register for further education, which is the master class that we'll be having. The first one, I normally have master class once in 2 months. Okay, the first one is going to be in February 22nd. So for other things you can do next month, winning with money. We're going to take that. It's going to be a free class, 2 hours class like this. I'm going to tell us as much as I can. We have enough time to tell us. Then March 20 is also, you can go and register on that website, Building Wealth for Generation. We're also going to do that 2 hours on the Thursday free. Okay, but if you want the advanced one to know exactly what to put in your ISA. So it's not just enough to have a LISA, a junior ISA, a SIP, or a ISA. You need to know what to put inside it. And for you to know what, apart from those 2 ETFs I've just mentioned, if you really want to build a portfolio that can give you 20, 30% return in a year, then I'll be able to guide you through building that portfolio. The outcome of that class, of that mentoring, is that you have a portfolio set up for you that in the next 2-3 years, you don't need to do anything again. You just create a standing order. There's auto invest on these platforms. Once your money get there, it allocates it for you the way you planned it. Everything is automated. It buys whatever you ask it to buy for you in the percentage you want it to buy. So this is not something you babysit. You only need 10 minutes in a month to say, okay, is the money invested for me properly? Yes, then you move on. The training is as cheap as it can be. It's 120. So 120 will give you a 6-hour training on a Saturday, and thereafter it start giving you mentoring. There's a group that you get added to, I have a group where I have people, there's a Discord group which you join for free. And there the things I don't say in public, you have it there. If you like, you have people who have registered, you have a list of people who have gone through training there. You have stock investment, property investment, venturing, and then you have training, you have things, that people asking questions, and I, just explain things to this question here. Somebody asking, what is the best, a house or stock? What should I invest in? And I took my time to analyze stock and investment, property and investment, using my own real life example to analyze to that person, which one is the best. But that I won't do generally in the public. In most cases, I will do it at a very high level. And so you join that group, you do mentoring, and then you do mentoring for evenings. We meet in the evenings, you do mentoring, you have an account ready for you to put money into at the end of the mentoring. But if you prefer that, if your time is not as flexible, you want a one-on-one private coaching, tailor-made to you at your own time, then the cost is 495 is what the cost is for a private. So your spouses, husband, wife, their children, you have all your accounts set up for you during this private session. So it's like 3 people or 4 people paying this 9495, or individual is 120. Okay, and then with a decade of experience, and then with the support I'm going to offer, you'll be able to take this to the next level if you really want to go ahead. So what do you gain? You're going deeper into how to select your stock, mutual fund analysis, how to formulate a strategy. You have practical sessions. You join the Discord I just showed us. Then for free, then you leverage on my experience. I'll show you I have about 10 portfolios. You get to see a lot of my portfolios. And by God's grace, I manage above, well into the 6-figure that I manage myself in terms of stock. And so I've got experience doing this and sharing my portfolio strategy, debt repayment strategy, why I don't. Some other stuff will be discussed. And to do that, where you register for this, go there and then click on masterclass, and then you either be able to register there, or you click on advanced class, and then you have either you use PayPal to register via Zoom, or you register checkout on PayPal, or you do a bank transfer to this account, and then I'll send you your detail to log in during the training and add you to the Discord group. So I think that is about it today. These are the other benefits of coming to the masterclass. So I'm going to put a stop to it today. How many minutes do we have left? We have 6 more minutes. So questions. Put it in the chat. I can unmute you to speak if you want to speak, or you can put your question as anonymous or in the Q&A pool on Zoom, and I will try my best to answer. Okay, something is coming in. You are welcome. You're very much welcome. Okay. Any other question? So for my phone number is on the website. It's been the same number for the last 15, 16 years thereabout. The number hasn't changed. So you have my number here. If you need to text me or to ask more questions about how to proceed on this, let me know. Okay, a question. So can we open the trading 212 now and just add any amount for a start? Okay. So you can open a trading 212 account right now if you want to, but what if it's a cash trading 212? Yes, if you open a cash trading 212, you start getting your it's going to be 4.9% per annum immediately. But if you want to open a stock and share one, I would say is do more research to know what to invest the money in. You just don't put in the money without investing it. You put in that money, and then you need to invest in a particular instrument, either ETF, mutual funds, or individual stocks. And with that, you need to do research to know what to put into it. And that is where you need the masterclass master class, like I said, it's a 6-hour class. It's not something I could go through now. Not a question, just to say this has been quite insightful. So much for a free class. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Okay, so in the absence of question, okay, of any other question. Okay, so if I get you right, I can do cash ISA now. Yeah, you can do cash ISA now. You can also do stock ISA. Like I said, if you do stock ISA, do 2 ETFs, okay? Do 2 ETFs, do S&P. Okay, for instance, this Vanguard S&P 500 is something. If you want to do something right away, you're eager, you can't wait till February. Do Vanguard S&P 500 is that's the way you measure the whole of the stock market in the world based on S&P 500 performance. So if you do that, and then you can do, like I said, do NASDAQ. NASDAQ is company, 100 technology companies in America that are in NASDAQ. So technology will give you a boost. Any of these NASDAQ 100 accumulative is something that you can do. EQQQ, okay, is an ETF on NASDAQ, or you do the S&P 500 is something you can do right now. Those ones, you don't need much research to invest into them. You can just invest and forget about it, okay, and leave it for years to come. Okay. Yeah, any other questions? So in the absence of question, 2 minutes to the hour. Thank you so very much for joining this class. Like I said, it's our passion to see every hardworking individual person. So is there any discount on the master class? No, it's just 120. There are no discounts on the 120. Okay, there are no discount on the 120. It's already heavily discounted, considering the number of hours that goes into making sure everybody have got a ready-made portfolio they can put money in. So, okay, you are welcome. Thank you very much. So we call it a day. Thank you for coming. Have a lovely rest of the day. God bless you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. God bless you. Okay, I will go off. I will go off video now. Sorry, the recording will be available for those who want the recording. I will upload this into my YouTube. Thank you.